Hi, it's Kristin Jamieson with Success Mortgage Partners. Today we're going to be talking about large deposits and why you don't want to make any large deposits into your bank account or change banks or transfer money between accounts during the mortgage loan process. Well, every loan program has their own guidance on what constitutes a large deposit. So, say for a conventional loan, a large deposit would be considered at 50%, anything over 50% of the monthly qualifying income. For our government loan programs, it's really going to be 1% of the purchase price or more would constitute a large deposit. But underwriters really have the final say. So even though we have some guidance by the secondary market investors and the government agencies, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, as to what they will accept, the underwriters can always question or require explanations for any deposits that seem out of the ordinary in the mortgage loan process. Gift funds are always acceptable if it's a first generation relative. So mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, cousins are not acceptable forms of gift or donors for gifts, but gifts are always acceptable as long as they're verified properly. So what do I mean by that? Well, each loan program, again, is going to have their own verification requirements, but our government loan programs, so our FHA, our VA loans, USDA loans, what is required to document the gift. So we have to have a signed gift letter that we provide at application, stating that the funds are a gift and no repayments expected, that's signed by the person giving you the gift and yourself. We have to have on all pages to the donor's most recent bank statement with no blackouts or whiteouts or account numbers, changed or altered, proving that they have the funds to give. The underwriters are going to look through their bank statements for any unusual large deposits that might constitute maybe suspicious activity, because it is their job to, look and report for any signs of money laundering, which I know none of you would ever do, but that is, part of our job, as unpleasant as that may sound. And then we are going to require to show a copy of the canceled check or the wire confirmation of the donor wiring the funds to your account. Then we're going to need to see the funds coming out of their account and going into your account. So gifts are always acceptable, but there's just a lot of documentation that can be needed. And it's not a Kristin Jamieson or Success Mortgage Partners guideline. It's the guidelines put out by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA, and we are required to follow their guidelines. It's never fun, but it can absolutely be done. Switching banks isn't necessarily as bad as having, some unsourceable cash deposits that we don't know where those funds came from. The biggest thing when switching a bank is that maybe the bank that you are taking the money from, that you're closing the account, that exact same amount of money is going into your new bank. Everything requires a paper trail. In the mortgage loan process, again, we're fighting, money laundering, we're fighting terrorism. There's a lot of things. People use mortgage transactions to try to do a lot of bad things, and it's our job to look for them. So if you're changing banks, just make sure you're saving all of your paperwork from the closure of the previous account and the opening of the new account. Not starting the account with a cash deposit, maybe with a cashier's check from the bank that you closed down, just so we can document and source the trail of funds. So it's for your sake and safety, it's just easier if you can manage to keep your current, accounts open. Just wait till after closing to make any major moves or switching around of accounts. So we are looking in the mortgage loan process, we are looking for non-sufficient funds, overdrafts, anything that might show your ability to make your mortgage payment timely every month. So a couple overdrafts or a couple non-sufficient funds, as long as maybe there's overdraft protection, on the account, as long as we can explain maybe what happened. Maybe you have online bill pay set up and your paycheck, hit at a different time, but that bill was already had gone out. There are certain, things that we can explain. One thing that an underwriter is going to look at, though, if you have numerous overdraft fees or overdrafts on your account, is your housing expense. If you're currently paying $1,000 a month in rent and your mortgage payment's going up to $1,500 a month, and you're consistently overdrawing your account, they may question your ability to make that payment, even though based on your income, you qualify for that monthly payment. So it's always, best. I mean, nobody can afford $35 overdrafts and non-sufficient funds fees. I know I can't. So it's always best to, really manage your money and watch your bank account. Through the loan process, your full financial history over the last couple year period is being assessed. So we want our best foot going forward. And a couple here and there that can be explained. It's not going to hurt your chances of qualifying. But if every month we're not getting better and we're trying to increase our house payment, the outcome may not be as favorable. It won't necessarily hurt your chance of closing as long as you can document the transfers between the accounts. So it's that huge paper trail. We try to keep the process as easy and simple as possible. But when it comes to assets and different bank accounts and different savings accounts, nobody's statements end the same day. So it's really, providing the correct transaction histories and bank statements that we request and require, because we're having to see, as you're transferring funds, we're having to see, when the funds are being transferred out, what the resulting balance is after that transfer out, and then the funds coming in, what the resulting balance is after those funds are coming in. It's not as simple as just, I move $500 from this account to that account. It's really seeing at the end of the day what the account balances are as we're going into closing to make sure you have enough funds to close on your new home. If you ever have any questions on the mortgage loan process, account history, checking, savings accounts, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or my team at 352-242-1535. Thanks.